Hello and welcome, folks. Welcome to another Titan Vial stream. Today is gonna be Prowess fixing stream, okay? I've been getting destroyed by this stupid Prowess deck. It's so messed up, man. It's so messed up. So I'm gonna be trying different cards. Hopefully we get paired against it a bunch. That would be the ideal scenario, so we can actually try the cards. The first one I'm gonna be giving a shot to is gonna be Core Firewalker. And this is a pretty obvious first step. The only issue that the Firewalker has is that double white mana cost. It's pretty rough. So hopefully this works out. In order to help things out a little bit, what I did is I cut the third basic that I was playing before, which honestly I have been quite happy with, but I need to make sure that I can help cast this dude a little bit more often, particularly because it's going to be at its best when we actually cast it on turn 2. So I added a third copy of Temple Garden. Hopefully we are not going to have, that much mana issues. We're going to see how it works. What's up, everyone? Stabs, Simic Atlantis, George, all of you, welcome to the stream. And the other thing that I did is I put the Arasta in the sideboard, and instead I brought the first copy of Knight of Autumn to the main deck. So we're gonna see how this works out. The other card that I wanted to try out today was gonna be Hornet Nest. For those of you that are not aware about this one, this used to be an old school tech in Amulet, actually. So it's a 3 mana 0/2, and why isn't this zooming in? Zoom in, there we go. So whenever this card is dealt damage, you create that many 1/1 insect creature tokens. So basically it's a 0/2 that you just put into play and your opponent cannot really attack anymore. The only issue I have with this card is the fact that like your opponent can still attack with their flyers. So, like Stormwing Entity and the other guy, the 1/1 flyer, the Sprite something. ¿Qué haces, gordita? ¿Todo bien? Este es el mazo que posteé el otro día en el Discord. La verdad que me está tratando muy lindo. Me está tratando muy lindo. I like 9 main deck, Blood and fuck me pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, that's like my motto, right? Got wrecked by Blood Moon is basically my motto. So we're playing against Obosh. This hand sounds great, but on the other hand, should I think I'm gonna play this on 1 and I'm gonna fetch for a basic planes. Well, okay, so it looks like it's the aggro deck. It's not the Gruul deck, so that's probably good for us. Tienes nada de Moon, pero gracias por compartir. Te la estás perdiendo, gordito, ¿no? Te la estás perdiendo porque la verdad que el Modern está muy bien. Está muy, pero muy bien en este momento. Altamente recomendado. That's not a terrible draw. It's okay. Run into someone running Hive Mind Amulet. The other thoughts on that in the current meta? I mean, well, it's not very good, right? Aether Gust still wrecks you if you're playing Hive Mind. So it's not helping like the main issue that I have. So I don't really see why you would want to play Hive Mind when the issue that you're trying to fix is not something that it fixes, basically. My baby boomer can't play an MTGO. Yeah, you're gonna go around activating manlands to tapping manlands to activate them. Well, this is getting out of control a little bit here. So I'm at 13. I'm at 13. I have two options. Option number one, I can Dryad. And I can play Valakut. Then next turn, I can call for Steve, and I can get double Valakut triggers. The downside of this is if my opponent has a Lightning Bolt, they get to kill the Dryad, and then they get to draw 4. The other alternative is we can call for another Thalia and we can play it. The problem with that is that I'm not gonna be able to trigger Valakut. Another option is I can just play Dryad, Vesuva, copy Radiant Fountain to make sure that I don't die. Think it's time for Rurik Thar? Rurik Thar is just not playable anymore. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call for Steve for next turn. And I think I'm gonna play out the Valakut here. Definitely an interesting turn. Most definitely an interesting turn. I think I'm gonna... Actually, I could copy the Fountain. I'm a coward. I'm sorry, I'm a coward. Did I see the Legacy Titan Vial brew? Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty cute. Alright, so my opponent got a little bit greedy here, maybe. Alright, so their last card is Lightning Bolt, which is kind of brutal for us, but like I don't think we can pass this up. I think I'm actually limber block here. So if they actually do have the bolt, then this saves the most amount of life, and if they have something like Davadart, this is also okay, I guess. Okay, so they just let it happen. All right, so what can we do here? Well, actually, Ewit is better, so I'm going to uptick this up to 3. Okay, so we're going to call. Actually, let's call for... I think I'm going to call for Corsair. And we're going to kill the Beaumont Courier. But this is the best blocker. Play this, gain a life. Play this, kill here. Always yes, always yield. Next turn we can cast Titan. And if the Dryad doesn't die, we win. No, we don't have Springbloom Druid anymore. But like if my opponent had been able to draw a card there, we were dead. Oh wow, brutal. So Dryad down, my opponent's gonna get to attack here. The good thing is that they're out of cards. So we're gonna get to gain a bunch of life here. It's a tracker. So Sanctuary plus Field. I would really like to get Blast Summon, but I don't think we have the time, unfortunately. And I guess I just bounce this and replay it, right? Just gain 3 more life. Alright, we might have stabilized here. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have stabilized here. Nice interactions, my man. Thank you, Graciela. So they can put this in their hand. That's probably their best play, but then that means I get to trigger Titan. We gain a bazillion life. Alright, sick. Winning game 1 against Prowess. Alright, that's what it's about. That's what it's about, because we got sideboard plans, okay? And this is something that I was trying to do. Like, I am experimenting with this matchup. Like, this is pretty bad for us. Like, I have not had very good experiences in the matchup, so I'm trying out some like weird things. So I want to try out cutting vials, for example. I want to try out cutting vials and see what happens. We get pass, we get purges. Why the vials? Because on the draw they're too slow to get going and they don't play to the board. Ewed? No, I think I do like Ewed because he can buy back paths and purges. Could see cutting one reclaimer. Well, I don't think, like, usually in this matchup I do cut the Ghost Quarter, but the problem is that now that I am cutting vials, I don't think I'm too excited about cutting one of my lands. So I'm looking at other cuts before I go after one of my lands, because I'm gonna rely on drawing my lands a little bit more when I don't have vials. Do you keep vials in other? I don't know. I'm trying things out. I'm struggling with this matchup, so I'm trying to see if I'm just trying things out. Kind of like throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. How I throw a Stoneforge and Battlescope for this matchup? I mean, Stoneforge and Battlescope seems terrible. I thought about it and it felt like not a good idea at all, because like they just bold your Stoneforge and now you have a 5-drop in hand. Like that doesn't help you at all in this matchup. Chalice in the board like Zach Allen did with goblins. That might be a little bit too much for us. That might be just a little bit too much. Oh, interesting. Interesting. This looks like a solid board state for my friend Thalia over here. Oh no! They drew the land. Damn it. Alright. Huh. I think I'm gonna play Dryad here. And we show them the Blast Zone, which means that they won't overcommit. And that's probably fine for us. Only time I take out Vials is versus John Discard decks. Well, I think that you should not take it against all Discard decks. Like, I wouldn't cut Vials against... Black-green deck, for example. I would cut them against John because they have Kolaghan's Command. This is fine. Like, if the Dryad basically gaining me 3 life, it feels like it's like a good... Actually gaining me 5 life. Seems like a solid exchange there. Flagstones. Flagstones. Just game 4. We can still purge one of these thingies if we want. They have created Modern Maverick. It's actually different than Maverick. Like, it makes sense, but it's a fair comparison, but I think it's actually a little bit different than Maverick. Wait, what? Well, I'll take that trade every day of the week. Yeah, so we're gonna do this, and we actually have the surprise big knight, which is hilarious. Like, we can make this knight a 5/5 if we go squatter ourselves, so gonna be watching out for that. Not better to just crack Blast Zone. If I do that, then my opponent has... They have a clear path, right? Bolt the Knight. Bolt the Knight. Dun, 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 dun. So even if I go squatter myself, the knight still dies, so sure. And to finish my thought, there's a very real cost to sacrificing this Blast Zone, which is I am down a land, so nice, nice, nice. I think I want to get back the knight here. Stomp my dude. Oh wow. So what this, so I'm gonna be able to path my own Ewit here. And not only do we get to ramp, but we also fizzle the stomp, which means that they don't get a dude. So this actually sounds like a great exchange for me. So now they don't get a 4/3. We do get an extra land. And we're gonna take a hit here. They can put the Obosh in their hand if they want. But now I'm gonna get to play knight again. Unless they have Blood Moon, I guess. Alright, that's pretty good. Why is there no music? Because music is copyrighted. So it's technically illegal. Every time you play music on your stream, you are actively breaking Twitch's what's the name? Like the terms of service. So I don't do that. The only music that I play on stream is when I play like wait music, basically. So when I take a break or something like that. What's up, Alex? How's it going? Right, what do we got here? Blood Moon, really? God damn it, that's their top deck. Or that's pretty effing good right now. Alright, so we're gonna have to draw another knight. We've used already the... I'll block you. I'll block you, sounds good. Georgia Monty, thank you for that follow. Always, yes. It's not bad. What am I supposed to do here? I can make the knight into a 4/4. Also, they exile their own Swiss Spear. I feel like I have to raise. I think I'm gonna raise. Let's raise. Alright, so even if they cast Obosh here, we can still block. Yes, always yield. Oh, come on. Sack this. I guess I'd rather have a field in play. Now we got enough green sources, so I'd rather have a field in play in case I find an answer to Blood Moon. The good thing is my opponent cannot really attack. Wait, what? That's really good for me, actually, I think. We trade the Reclaimer for the Soulscar Mage, but I feel like that actually favors me. Gonna hold this in hand in case we find an answer. And now we're just gonna be playing a waiting game, I guess. Big drops like the Mocha Cigar and Hornet Queen are way too slow, right? Yes, yes they are. Yeah. Well, my opponent's top decking better than I am. Okay, at least that was kind of a whiff. At least those were a little bit of a whiff. Something good? Nope. No good. So we need to find an answer to this. Once we do, we're gonna be in really good shape. Weird. That's fine. That's an answer to Blood Moon. Get my second Night of Autumn. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's alright. I already played a spell this turn. Whoops. Oh, that's right. This guy... this guy has text. That's true. Oh, come on! No! God damn it! God damn it! Shit. Yeah, there's exactly one more purge that we can draw. Or a second Firewalker. If I draw a second Firewalker, that allows me to start attacking with one of them. They drew all three of their Blood Moons, because I doubt that they play any more than 3. But we answer the first one with a Purge, we answer the second one with a Knight, and now they play the third one. And we continue drawing lands. Quite unfortunate. About Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor would not really be that good right here, right? It's not the worst. Allows us to draw some cards. We are at 24 right now. At least that is something. I have one more Celestial Purge in my deck. That's the easy block. That's the other block. No, the legend rule doesn't get nullified by Blood Moon, unfortunately. Brutal. That is particularly brutal because obviously... Wait, what happened here? Oh, this is not uneven. But it still answered my Firewalker, which is the most important thing. So we're still kind of fucked. We're still kind of fucked here. I'm gonna deck first? No. I think that we're gonna find an answer to the Blood Moon before this. And I think that they have used up every single one of their Blood Moons, and I still have one more answer. This is getting tough, though. This is getting really tough. If they have anything, we're just dead. Yeah, they have anything, so we're just dead now. Because now they get to answer my Eidolon. Yeah, we just don't have enough time. Go down the way, they play a Bone Crusher. Yeah, we're dead. Man, that third Blood Moon on the only last turn that it would have made sense. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. They had a one turn to draw that Blood Moon, otherwise we were gonna finally turn the corner. Why didn't I play land? Because I'm holding it in hand to trigger field. I need to answer the last Blood Moon, and then I need to have access to lands in order to trigger the field. And my lands don't do anything with while the Blood Moon is in play, right? So. Oh boy, is this hand bad against Moon. Oh boy, is this hand bad against Moon. I'm gonna keep it though. We get to gain some life. We get to turn 3 Dryad. They gain life. I played a land every turn. Every time that I had a Courser. Every turn that I had a Courser in play, I played a land. There were no turns that I skipped. In before turn 3 Blood Moon. This is good though. Like if my opponent doesn't have the turn 3 Blood Moon, actually we're gonna be in really good shape. Because we're gonna get to play Dryad here. Play Blast Zone plus Reclaimer. This means that I can't Titan, but I think that I'm not gonna have to. So we just need to dodge my opponent having a Blood Moon this very turn, so that we have time to blow up the Blast Zone and we're gonna be fine. Alright, sweet. Firebolt Face. So this means that they're gonna light up the stage here. There it is. Uh-oh. Burst Lightning, kill my Reclaimer. That's a lot of fucking damage. I think I'm not gonna block though, because if we draw any untapped land... Shit. Well, I have to blow up their board, I think. Alternatively, no, I have to blow up their board, right? I can path my own Dryad. That's so awful. Oh, that Blood Moon is messed up. Blood Moon is messed up. How the hell am I gonna navigate this? We still have Steve in our deck, but we also have Celestial Purge. We do have more green cards, however. Yeah, the last cast card is the one that that stays, to put it somehow. We also have to shock for this Temple Garden, so we can path. Shit. We can also Knight of Autumn path the Knight, but that means that they keep all of their dudes. If I want to blow up Blast Zone, I need to shock. It's 3 to blow up. If I want to blow up the Blast Zone, we need to shock. If I want to play the Knight, we don't need to shock. But they get to keep all of their creatures. I think I'm going to go for this. And I'm just going to hope that I find another answer to Blood Moon. Gain 4. Brutal. You won't have the colored mana to answer Blood in any amount of time. Yeah, I have Celestial Purge in my deck. Oh, wow. Oh, no, they just have another land. Never mind. This is just whatever. They just have another land in hand. Ooh. Getting a little bit gritty over there, huh? So we have to chump. Then we path this. But now we get to resolve Titan? I think my opponent just played themselves over there a little bit. Now we don't have to worry about the moon anymore. The only problem is that I think that triggering field actually nets me more mana. Nets me more life overall because of the Swift Sphere, so we're gonna have to dodge one draw step. We're gonna get to bog them though, which is nice. So bog you plus basic forest, I guess. Next turn we can finally stabilize, but we're gonna have to dodge any burn spell off the top. Why not fetch? Because I'm dead to this lightning bolt that my opponent has over here. I'm at 4, right? So this means the Bone Crusher is no longer an option. Don't have a Firebolt. No Firebolt. Alright, another Soulscar Mage is fine. Alright, okay, so... what is the best way to do this? Yeah, I know, but I'm playing on bouncing Radiant Fountain, so it's better for me to play the Golos first. This gets a second copy of Field. And now we have to dodge exactly Lightning Bolt. Or Lava Spike if they're playing Lava Spike. We have to dodge exactly Lava Spike if they're playing Lava Spike or Bolt. Those are the only 2 cards in my opponent's deck that matter at this point. I play mucho gracias, papá, gracias. Okay, so... bearing exactly those 2 cards, we should win here. And I guess I might as well crack this. Alright, Bolt or bust. Don't slow roll me, opponent. They're slow rolling themselves. Cracking it loud less than trouble, Matt. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think that game would have been a lot harder for us to win if they just land the Bloodman that they exiled. And then take it from there. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Now that I think about it, I honestly forgot that they were playing Bomad. Do I use Samuel on this deck? No. They were playing against Emayashi. I have played against them, yes, a couple of times. Which land did I cut for the 4th Flagstones? I had a Cavern before. And I had 2 castles. At one point I was playing two castles. And I cut the 2nd castle for the 4th Flagstones. I kind of want to keep this, but I think it's actually a mulligan. Probably they thought you had another answer to Blood Moon, thinks you wasted the night. Maybe we just like bluffed them into making the wrong play. Somehow. Oh no, don't discard me. Oh, okay, that's fine. Whew. Whew. Ha, Thalia. LOL. Alright, would love to draw a Flagstones. Flagstones is probably my best draw here. Brutal. Thalia actually doing anything. Feels bad, man. I'm gonna take my free block here. Poggers. Love this. Love this. I think I'm gonna get a second forest because of Courser. Let's pop into the stream. We'll play Vial now. You sold me. Dude, Vial is great. Second Vial, let's go. Next turn, all the bad boys are gonna come out to play. One was Seiju, and one approaching the second Sun in Amulet. That sounds like a great meme. Yeah, that was definitely not a good path to exile. In fact, I would even go as far to say that that was a terrible path to exile. Yeah, Corsair is definitely the best pick there. Just gonna put more blockers into play. My opponent wants to go and start pathing my dudes. That's good stuff. It also costs them extra mana because Thalia is playing for us right now. Oh, that's pretty gross. That's pretty gross. It's kind of aggressive attack. White, green, and 1. So hoping for no second Strangler, because that would be brutal. I guess Flicker Wisp also does it. No merit in playing Night and Dry. I wanted to draw cards, like I'm not hitting my land drops, etc. Right, so definitely blocking Strangler here. If we get to untap with the Knight, probably gonna be in fine shape here. All right. All right. All right. Is it better to Nylea or is it better to Clue? I think it's better to Nylea. Excavator. It's pretty solid. So they have, we have 3 blockers for their 4 attackers, so they should be fine. And we can gain 2 life at instant speed. And if we get to untap, it's game over, right? Because we just get to go with Valakut with Knight and we start nuking down their stuff, so. always thought that process plus color synergy was pretty interesting. Yeah, particularly with what's his name, right? The synergy with the other guy is pretty sick. What am I trying to say here? What's the name of the other guy? Why am I blanking the name of the other guy? Flicker Wisp. Mind Sensor? I'm gonna lie, Mind Sensor would have been kind of sick there. Let's go with Fountain here. We get another Nightly activation. Damn, Nightly just has been so good and for me. Nightly has been so sick against like this kind of like mid-rangey matchups. Second Dryad is probably the best draw that we can have here because it allows me to play around Path to Exile. Okay. They're gonna kill my knight. Alright. I played right into that one, didn't I? Played right into that one. Yeah, let's keep this on 5, I think. Let's do 3 and 5. Yeah, I maybe I should have gotten Valakut there. Ooh, never mind. Never mind. It was still correct for me to keep this on 5 because we have more 5s than 6s. We have 2 Goloses and 1... 2 Goloses and 1 of the other guy. The Gargaroth. This is a plains. That is a plains. Valakut this one. Play this one. Valakut that one. And Thalia is actually helping me out here, so I'm just gonna leave the Thalia in place. Nightly can start getting in there. Poggers. Can you believe that my opponent thought for a second that they were gonna win this game? My opponent thought for a second that they were gonna win this game. Damn, Nylia, holy crap. Did we have lethal? It's a lot more fun to just kill all the creatures. I have the tendency to not go for lethal in that kind of scenarios because I just have too much fun killing other stuff. Maybe I should be looking for lethal lines, granted, but it's just so much fun to blow up all of their dudes. Never punished. Yeah, whatever. No, I'm not playing Bellower anymore. And my opponent thought that they were a favorite to win that game. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? They thought that they were a favorite to win that one. Clearly they have not faced the Titan Vial wrath just yet. Still only 1 copy of Nylea. Yeah, I don't think that you really want any more than 1. The Tron matchup very rough. I still have a very positive record against Tron, but it's not as comfortable as I would like it to be. That's the way that I have been describing it. Like, I don't feel like it's a bad matchup, but it's worse than I would like it to be. Rotrock. Well, thank you for that Prime subscription. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Sure. I mean, this hand loses to Arbiter. What did I replace Bellower with? I replaced it with Gargaroth. That's interesting. Hook me up with that Temple Garden, baby. Sajiri Stab? No, that's not a card I'm interested in playing. The upside is minimal and the downside is very, very, very real. So definitely not interested in playing that card. It's a little bit too big of a downside, unfortunately. I kind of don't want to show them the Blast Zone. We're getting Arbiter here. That's gross. Oh. Oh, that's just good value. That was a nice play from opponent. I think since they didn't have it here, I'm gonna risk getting got by it, and I'm just gonna save the 1 point of damage. Okay. So let's do this part first. Just have nothing. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna let them destroy my Blast Zone, because I think that the value of this Reclaimer is so much higher than the value they're getting from the Raider Vial. Have I considered Harrow in this deck? I'm not playing Harrow, but I did consider playing, and I did try Springbloom Druid, which was actually kind of okay. But I ended up cutting it for other cards instead. Thank you, opponent. Thank you so much. So just saving my Vial? It's so kind of them. So if we get Flagstones here, we can 1, 2, 3 crack. I think we have to get Valakut, right? 1, 2, 3 crack Blast Zone, blow everything up. 1, 2, yeah. Actually, do we have enough mana? Because I'm definitely interested in playing Dryad. They take the Vial up to 4, so I have to believe that they have a Thought Knot. So maybe the Valakut plan is not going to work out. Just going to get another Flagstones. But I'm gonna be sacking Steep though. Snow-covered forest. Because if they don't have the Thought Knot, then this is what we need to win. Okay, so here comes the Thought Knot. Opponent will have to choose wisely here. Amulet is no good right now, or you're having fun with this? I think that this is better than Amulet in the current metagame. They have to take the Dryad. Yep. Okay, so we're going to 1-2 sack this. Get field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So sack this. Yes. Plains. Get Field of the Dead. Trigger. We actually have to sack this here. Kill the Givers and my own Reclaimer, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. If I play Crew Fix for life gain, I don't get to activate that Reclaimer, so... What took the Springbloom place? Yeah, this is fine. The Springbloom was... 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. The Springbloom is Denylia. Tune into my local FNM in a meta full of Prowess, Ponza, a Storm deck, a good amount of blue decks. It's been a good time. Subtle flex. Are you playing this deck in your local meta on Blood Moon or with Amulet? Okay. Good stuff. What is this? Displacer. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna get Radiant Fountain. So I guess it's better for me to play Courser first. If there's an untapped land on top, we gain extra life. If there is not, we get... Shit, alright. So now we shock. And we have to go get Radiant Fountain here. Too bad, because Nylea would have been kind of sick here, but... now there's the fetch. Come on, deck. You know better than this. You know better than this, deck. See this list being better than Amulet just because Ponce and control? I didn't say it was better than Amulet. I said it was better than Amulet in the current metagame. Oh man. Just dead to the wisps. Hisio, welcome with the tier 1 sub. Once again, thank you so much for the continued support, Hisio. Appreciate it. How has Arasta been? It's been quite powerful, yeah. I've been impressed by Arasta. In fact, Arasta would have been the nuts right there, right? Just blocking wisps. Although I guess that they could have just blinked it. Blink it. That's what changed so much? Every single deck is playing 4 Eldrazi in the sideboard. I mean, I'm lucky. You're lucky if you have been beating that, but I have not. So. I think this is a good matchup for us, though, so I'm not too afraid. I'll keep this. Is that what the other guys are for? To get around the guys? Yes. Precisely. Precisely. And they have been succeeding at doing so, so... Feels good, man. So, second green. Second green or white? I think I'm gonna go with second green. Huh, took a tracker. So that probably means they need to have another one of these, right? Or that they don't have punished. Or it also can mean that they don't have the... the combo with this one. What's the name of the combo one? What's the combo with this one? Strangler. Because if they had taken the Dryad, they could have... I get a clue for sure, but like they would have been able to like strangle the tracker before I get to draw, and then oh, they have turn 3 Thought Knot. All right. So bye bye prime time. Interesting. Oh man, that's just too funny. That is just so funny. That's too much. So what we do is we do 1 and 1 here. Oh, it's yes, although it's healed. Yeah, the 1 of castle, no big deal. The 1 of castle. So opponent gives it pro colorless. So we just like Valak at their face a bunch. Yeah. One of castle, easy. run of castle. Mate, power up me. Good stuff, good stuff. It's okay to luck sack every once in a while. Yeah, exactly. I need a luck sack emote. I need a luck sack emote. Everyone down the hall at work heard you laughing. Should mute you more often. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry. That was just too much, though. That was just too much. Could it be that the deck has a problem with flying creatures? I have often lost in last leagues against flying creatures with decks like Prowess, Blue-White Control, and Eldrazi and Taxes. Yeah, well, that's what Dryad plus Vala are good at keeping at bay, and that's why Arasta is in my sideboard. But like with that same principle, then Amulet also has problem against creatures, against flying creatures, right? Because better. Just gonna draw some lands here. Really fine. Where did the last Modern streamer come from? I know for a while there was a few months ago. No one was streaming Modern. Other than yeah, that's where it came from. you just answered your own question. Let's get a Forest. Let's play my Thalia and just say go. If this is big Tron, maybe this could be problematic, but if this is Eldrazi Tron, I still think I'm in fine shape. Alright, okay, it's Eldrazi Tron, so we're fine. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so my life total is probably going to matter, so. And I actually don't want to trade with this for Shaper. I don't want my opponent to draw cards and find the missing Tron piece. That's how I win. That's how I lose this game. All right, there we go. They found it anyway. Sounds good. Nothing like making a play for a reason and that thing immediately happening right after you said that you don't want it to happen. I think I'm gonna get a Valakut here, even because I can just go for Dryad next turn. And also just naturally draw the Valakut. Let's just start attacking now. Shauna, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back for the full year. We finally got there. Got to the full year. Thank you so much, Shauna, for all the continued support. Oh, they just had the Natty Tron. Sweet. Drawing the missing Trumpies was much more lucky than me drawing the castle last game. Exactly. I mean, stupid Tron deck, right? Stupid Tron deck. That's weird. They have nothing to do with 5 mana and we draw the absolute worst card in our deck. They just have nothing to do with 5 mana. Is that the truth? Just nothing to do with it. Nothing to do at all with 5 mana. Suspicious. Lost badly to E-Tron today. Feels bad, man. They got Tech Edge? That's messed up. Alright, so now we're hitting the other side of the spectrum, right? We got extremely lucky in the last match, and now we're getting completely owned with basically our worst possible draw spot. Just drawing the worst possible card every single turn. Bye bye, field. We'll miss you forever. Tannenbaum should play 1 tower, mine power plant, like a skating cataract for the sweet Golos activation value. How about no instead? Let's just not do that. Let's just not do that. Dumpster, the Prowess and Blue-White control, only to lose to natural Tron 2 games in a row. And that's what the deck's supposed to do, right? Why people hate on Tron so much? Because every time that you okay, weird. Every time that you lose against Tron, it just feels like they got lucky, cause you know their deck is just like their deck doesn't really function unless you have like this 1, 2, 3, 7 mana. So because it's kind of like it's just a feel bad, you know. X equals 4. Okay. Weird number to put the chalice on, but sounds good. All right, whatever. Like, it's clear that they want to draw that card, but like, can I really afford to take the damage? Sick. This is how we do it. Oh, bum, 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 bum. This is how we do it. So, second field and what? Ghost Quarter? Or should I get more Sombos? I think I like getting more Sombos. Chalice on 4, yeah, I have no idea what they are thinking. That I think that what happened is that they wanted to put the Chalice on 3, but the Ugin makes it a little bit cheaper, so they just misclicked. Chalice on 4 is definitely for Escape Shift. Maybe they're playing our Escape Shift. Yep. My theory is that they wanted to put it on 3 and they forgot about Ugin. That's just my theory. What's up, Draken? Yeah, they locked themselves out of Karn, which is hilarious. Because like Karn would be like the way for them to go over the top. And now they can't. Oh, sick. So now we also get to draw cards in the middle. Okay, so attack Ugin, attack Ugin, attack Ugin, attack Ugin. We're gonna get Vesuva. Let's get Ghost Quarter. We can also just get Radiant Fountain. Let's just get Radiant Fountain. Remember 2 minutes ago when I said each Tron players have to get lucky to win, then top deck a Titan and Tracker? Yeah. Luck suck, Tron players. Luck sack Tron players. What is this? Put 5 counters in my blast zone. That is kind of hilarious, actually. That is absolutely hilarious, actually. Okay, so we're trading there. Trading there. Boom. Eugene down to 1. They're going to continue drawing cards, which is bad for us. Clack, crack, clue. All right. I like that one. Sup, here's my 7/7. Mace Mind Tome. Would I bring Idol of Rhetoric against Mel? I've not got impaired against Mel yet, so it's a little bit awkward. Maybe I would? No, I probably won't. We don't even have cyber cards against Mirror. We just like scoop it up. Just bring this in. On like Knight of Autumn. That's kind of it. Just have nothing. Well, I guess that we do care about the colors, so let's stop properly here. Let's draw another one. Steven. So I guess this is gonna go face, and this is gonna go Ugin, 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 Ugin. Playing around 2 removal spells, and then one of these gonna go face. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is not Cataracts viable with colors in the deck? No, it's not. No, it is not. So let's do this. And I guess I don't want to give them mana, right? So I guess I'm just going to do this right now. They totally have another mine in hand, right? Like, there's no way that this is not true. And I still think this is correct. Blow a Blast Zone, kill my Golos. Sounds good. But yeah, but I should definitely blow it up right now. Wait. They have both wastes in hand. I just don't want them to draw a card for free with a Mace Mind Tome, basically. Golos 2, I have holding back, because if they want to blow up their Blast Zone, I'm forcing them to do it, right? 14 mana. It's probably like a big ballista. That's what it is. X equals 7. Upgrade kit to Titan Vial has arrived. Yes. Let's go. So I think we actually have lethal here. Thanks to all the sombos and stuff. And I'm gonna crack a clue here. Kind of to force the action on the ballista, but they're probably not going to. That's okay though. This game is just very much over. Let's get what, like flagstones, I guess. Opponent just concedes. Why is Chalice on 4? Our suspicion is that my opponent wanted to play it on 3, but they had a Nugan in play, so it ended up going up to 4, and they didn't notice that they had messed up. So that's good against Tron. Usually I don't bring in Dumping Sphere against Eldrazi Tron with Amulet, or like this kind of effect sounds kind of medium to me. But with this deck specifically, like I'm already cutting Thalias and stuff. So maybe Dumping Sphere just like as a way to disrupt their mana is just okay. I probably wouldn't bring all 3 of them though. Steve back to spot where essentially Green White Value Town is a deck again. This deck is not essentially Green White Value Town. It's actually quite different than Value Town. Value Town, it was a mana denial deck. This deck is not. This deck is just a deck that it's just a ramp deck. Value Town was not a ramp deck. So now even if they have Chalice on 1, we just don't care. So that's cool. Oh, they have Chalice on 1? Delightful. Delightful. Valitan probably would never went this direction if it lasted until Field Riot. Yeah, I don't know how Valitan would look like right now. I used to enjoy that deck, but like that was a company deck, right? This is definitely not a company deck. We are legit we're just like straight up uninterested in a card like Collected Company. That's not what we're doing. Alright, so here comes the Thought Knot. Oh, Karn. If they mine us, though, we get to easily answer this card, which is cool. See your Chalice and raise you a Wet Ball, yeah. So we can just like play this. Oh yeah, so they mine us. That's great for us. That's so good for us. That is so good for us. This is kind of like the kind of play that we get access to because our opponents just have no idea what we're doing, and we get a little bit of value this way. Just get a fetch land here. So now Vial is gonna go up to 3. So now we're going to fetch for, I guess, a redundant forest, and we're just gonna sack it. Then sacrifice this. Now this is gonna be a 3. We're gonna get what, like a Valakut in play? Then we attack Reclaimer, then we Violin Raminap, we play Flagstone from the graveyard, we play Dryad, we play Windsweep Heath. GG's. Yeah, getting coding there is really bad. It was not a good play from them. But again, like our opponent has no idea what we're doing, right? Like, and we do. So like you do get a reasonable amount of value by just like playing a deck that your opponent has no idea what the capabilities of the deck are. And we definitely got away with that on that game. because they played right into us. The correct play was 200, maybe like 500% to just plus the card. And we could have clocked the card like 2 turns from now, but like we would have needed to spend 1 turn to set up. Then like we're gonna need to tap our mana, so it would have been a lot more awkward for us if they had plus Karn. But they minused for like the worst possible thing that they could minus for, because they didn't even get any value, and then we just win from there very easily. Could still read the cards on the table to see your current dice listing. Yeah, but like I imagine that my opponent has never played against Eldrazi Reclaimer. Like if they could have been playing Modern for the past like 2 years or something, and they probably never faced Eldrazi Reclaimer a single time, because like nobody plays this card. Can you discuss your philosophy on what to trim boosting your testing with how much success you've had with the different variations? I'm not sure I'd be mindset to change anything as frequently as you do. Well, I am in the testing process, right? Like that is basically what I'm going through right now. And in the testing process, like this deck is exactly 3 weeks old today. This deck, I played my very first league with this deck exactly 3 weeks from now, because it was I guess 3 weeks minus 1 day, so yeah, 20 days ago. That was the first league that I played with this deck, because it was on a Tuesday, I remember. So right now I'm just trying stuff out. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, because like nobody has played this deck before me, right? And the only way to figure out what works is to like try it out yourself. Roll up your sleeves, try it out yourself, and just see what happens. So this is when we're gonna blow it up. Having Reclaimer Reflex in the starting card 70% seems like a good strat. I mean, you have to. Again, I know how my deck functions, and after like playing some matches with the deck, like this is the interaction that this deck was built on, right? If Flagstones didn't exist, or if Reclaimer didn't exist, this deck would not exist, or it would be different at least. So when you draw the cards that your deck is built around, you tend to do better than when you don't. It's probably a safe way of putting it. But for example, you clearly decide you want to try Thalia out of pre-reverse. How do you decide what to trim for it? Because it was pretty obvious. Like, if you look at my first league, Noble Hierarch was a card that I was playing over Thalia, and Noble Hierarch really, really underperformed. And then I'm like, well, let's try Thalia and see what happens. But that's what I did. I just said, let's try Thalia and see what happens. And that's how it came about. So we have 2 lines here. Line number 1, yeah, that's the line that I'm taking, so let's just do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna main phase, use Vesuva to copy Ghost Quarter, and then play a second Reclaimer. If I didn't have a second Reclaimer, maybe I would have done something different this turn. But because I do have a second Reclaimer, this seems like the safest line. This playing it doesn't necessarily mean it is better than an alternative. That's the thing you say, right? Yeah. I actually have a command for that. I think my opponent thought that I activated under main phase, but fortunately I'm not an idiot, so. But yeah, there was no need to crack the sphere there. They were trying to cast their Silver Scryer or whatever. Alright, this is the card that I have been finding actually somewhat problematic out of Tron. Okay, so we don't need to blow up anything, but I need to put on a clock, so I'm gonna try to put on a clock. I'm not gonna sacrifice Ghost Quarter. So what we're just gonna do is I'm gonna play Dryad here. We have one more land drop. So I'm gonna attack with one of these. Opponent goes down to 17. Then, yeah, I guess we have to set up lethal over 2 turns. It's the best line. Sack this, go get Valakut, trigger Valakut. Yeah. Then next turn get second Valakut. So my opponent needs to draw a Tron to blow up this Stone, otherwise they're gonna lose. Yeah, Kenpachi, that's exactly what I thought. I think in that league I got destroyed by like ad nauseam or something like that. I don't remember. And then I chose to try out Thalia, and in that very league I got paired against Storm, I think. And then we beat them because I think I went like turn 2 Thalia or something. Ugh. So if I blow up this Ursa's Mine right here, we don't activate, but we're guaranteed to not get the O-Stone blown up. I attack for... Well, I actually... Next turn I'm going to have 4 lands. I'm going to sack this, get land, trigger Valakut first for the first time. Then I sack again, trigger double Valakut. Yeah, it's correct for us to go Squatter right now. We're fine. Yeah, Uranus. Yeah, that's the math that I was doing. And I think that we still have lethal. As long as they don't draw like their 1 off or like 2 off Dismember or something. Oh, Ghost Squatter. But that's fine, because if they play the Ghost Squatter and they Ghost Squatter or Valakut, like they're like a million turns away from O-Stone. And if they don't, they just lose. So it seems like a win-win situation for us. And if they tap the Ghost Squatter, they're actually just dead. What is this, a Ballista? Ballista doesn't do anything. Sweet. Alright. Or they GQ or flags. Oh, nice. Okay, so... I guess it doesn't really change anything here. The order in which we activate. So here's Valakut. Here's Valakut. Always yes, always yes, always yield. 1, 2. Sacrifice this. Get Vesuva, copy Valakut. Oh, I used Vesuva already. Whoops. It's whatever. Still lethal. We need a snow cover at the Valakut. No, like O-Stone has not been like game breaker or anything, but it has been like one of the most problematic cards out of the Tron deck. Like the sweepers, right? Those are the problematic cards for us, obviously. That doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Huh. Is Eidolon good against Tron? Basically, Eidolon prevents them from... Yeah, on the draw, I'm not going to bring in Eidolon. Never mind. Thalia probably disrupts them a little bit more. Well, actually, does it? Because it prevents them from, like, you know, like staring into the threat. So it might buy us like a turn or 2. I think this hand might be a tiny bit too slow. Down 5 we go. Heroic Intervention for anti-sweepers? Nah. They can still Ugin you, right? Keep, bottom, bottom. Like, I would play Selfless Spirits before that card, right? Because Selfless Spirits plays a little bit better with my game plan. Instead of Heroic Intervention. And I'm still not really interested in Selfless Spirit. I think that we need to hope here. We need to dodge them having the Natty Tron. Because otherwise we just fall a little bit too far behind. They're gonna have it. Because they mull to 6, yeah, they're just gonna have it. But this is how you lose against Tron. They just have the turn 3 nonsense. But like now we actually get to disrupt them a little bit, while otherwise we wouldn't get to, so we're gonna be able to Flag Stones. To Mind Sensor plus Ghost Quarter. I'm not saying that it would have been it was a good plan. I'm just saying that it's the plan that we had. Castle? Yeah, I guess so. I guess I want to do this right now. Just whiff, opponent, come on. That's what I like to see. That plays around this member a little bit better. Pitch in a field because we might draw another Reclaimer. Brutal. Oh, Karn. So now they can put a counter on the Karn. And with any land, they blow up O-Stone next turn. Oh, sick. 100% blowing up Oblivion Stone here. They should still put a counter though, in case they draw another one. Haha, the Firewalkers worked out. We played against Prowess once so far, and they were fine there. Alright, so we definitely want to draw... Raminap is far and away our best draw step. Raminap Excavator is what we're looking for. Like, if we draw exactly Raminap, I would actually go ahead and say that we are a favorite. But we need to draw Raminap this turn. Huh? Yeah, definitely attacking with everything at the Karn. In case they have Dismember or something. Although I guess that they had Dismember, they would have Dismember my dude already. Alright, so we're going on Turbo Kill You. So I'm just gonna make it 4-3. Puts my opponent on a 2-turn clock. Don't do it. All right. Sylvan Slime for nothing. Love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, so get a basic forest here. Play Golos. Get a field, I think. Yeah, the field makes more of my draw steps relevant. Be honest, does having Mind Sensor suck? I mean, right now has been insane. It's been insane this game, but it's probably one of the worst cards in my sideboard. I will tell you that much. It's probably one of the worst cards in my sideboard. If not the worst card in my sideboard. Got him! Well, I wouldn't know, yeah. Yeah. Did we move to 5 there? I think we moved to 5. And we beat turn 3 Karn. Just saying. Just saying. Steering is strictly better than Sylvan's Guardian right there. I know, it's pretty good value. I totally forgot to update my record all this time. Record 1-0, yep. Basically 1-0. I mean, being 4-0, it's basically like being 1-0 but 4 times, so. 80% incoming, yep. Steerings can't get Dread Arbor. Ugh. Brutal. What did I cut from the main board to fit Knight? Rasta. Made a little switch there. +1 Knight, -1 Arasta. I also cut the 3rd basic forest for the 3rd Temple Garden. Good times, good times. It's always good times with this deck. And I'm pretty sure that this is not the best way to build this deck either. If I'm being honest, I'm kind of waiting for the week to be over since Sam Black's article went up, because I really want to know what he had to say about it. Sam is great. Really want to know what he had to say about it. Turn 1 planes go. Interesting. All right. Turn 2 Arbiter. Turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Sure, it's been asked, but it's not worth running Cascading Cataracts to be close. No, it's not. What the fuck? Would a Susa Oracle Mulaya be good one-offs? No. I tested Oracle already and she wasn't great. Good thing for us that they fetched up the Batter Skull, because this doesn't do anything. What's Hyperscape? I have no idea, Wombo Combo, what's that? Mono white, though. Alright, so we're gonna gather more information right now. Alright, so my opponent's switching gears a little bit over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'm just gonna fetch a Valakut here, actually. Kind of puts my opponent... alternatively, I could get another Flagstones. Yeah, I actually like that better. So we get second Flagstones here. We Dryad plus activate. So we play this first. Yes. Dryad. And now we actually can trigger Valakut here. Yeah, this is a lot better. And if they don't do anything, we just cast a Titan next turn and we kill them that way. So that's also cool. Oh, you're not gonna like what's about to happen to you, opponent. You're not gonna like what's about to happen to you. Oh no. Oh, opponent. Opponent. Boop. Always yes, always yield. Lol. Imagine just doing this for your turn 4. When you could be doing this for your turn 3. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Good stuff. Why do you get the basic with Flax instead of the Shocks? Because there's a card called Field of the Dead, and it rewards you for having multiple names amongst lands you control. Well, I don't think I want these other cards. Definitely do not want Thalia, and this hand sounds solid. Turn 1, fetch for Shockland. Turn 2, Steve. Turn 3, Nihilea / Night of Autumn, depending on what's up. We can Gargroth. Put him to 5. What's up, Royal Egg? Sigarda's Aid. Succulent target. Actually, let's do this instead. Yeah, it is hammer time. Why do they have Ornithopter instead of the 1-drop is my question. What is this? Stoneforge? Alright, so this has to mean some sort of combo somewhere, right? I have to imagine that there is some sort of infinite combo happening in my opponent's deck. Paradise Mantle. What are they doing with infinite mana, though? Guess we don't want to have 6. Block you. Sacrifice Steve. So I guess it doesn't make any sense for me to destroy the Ornithopter, right? It doesn't make any sense for me to destroy the Sigarda, I mean, because they have Puresteel Piling anyway. So I'm saving my Knight of Autumn then? Oh no, it's better for me to spend this turn to take up Bloodstone. So we take this up 2, we blow this up next turn. I don't think they can kill me, because I can blow this up and destroy the Sigarda Shade, or I can even destroy the other thing. Paradise Mantle. Well, we can't destroy either of these things, so I guess that's it. There's no way they have like Thassa's Oracle or something, right? It's not Affinity, it is some sort of nonsense deck. Oh, they can draw their entire deck now, I think? I mean, they don't have enough mana to do all the stuff, though. So I think that with this trigger on the stack, like, they're just going to choose what they draw here. And they're going to draw another equipment, and they're going to draw another card, etc. So some serious nonsense over there. Yeah, that's what I think, but it's just like, do they... So they can't kill me, right? Because they cannot both draw a land and the equipment that they need. And then we blow up the equipment so we don't die, so they cannot... And then we untap and we Knight of Autumn the Paradise Mantle. It's an interesting brew they have going on. I just... Colossus Hammer, enter the exile zone. So they don't want to draw Colossus Hammer, I guess. If they hit another Paradise Mantle and they have Oracle, they can win. Okay. Alright, yeah. Maybe they have that in their deck. Seems like an awful lot of work. but I guess it makes sense. Can I explain Nylea in this deck? Against grindy decks, Nylea draws cards and makes your stuff cheaper. That's really what it is. We played against Black-White Taxes earlier today, and Nylea drew like 5 cards or something. With a terrible combo to click through MTGO, I disagree. I don't disagree, I mean. Yeah, seems miserable. Seems absolutely miserable, but I'm enjoying it. Like, my opponent's playing a nice little brewski over there. Looks fun. Alright, so they kept one on top. Let's see what they kept on top. Imagine the second Paradise Mantle. Okay. I can't stop this from happening, right? And they have a one-off. Yeah, they just have a one-off Thassa's Oracle in their deck that they're drawing towards now. But they still need to have another equipment in hand, right? If they don't have an equipment in hand and the Thassa's Oracle... Like, if the Oracle is their top card right here, they still don't kill me, right? Unless they have multiple Oracles. Or they already have the Oracle in hand. That's the other alternative. Yeah, I know. But they need to draw one more card, right? They draw the Oracle off the mantle, but if the Oracle is like the next card, they can cast the Oracle, but they still have like 30 cards. So they don't win, right? Okay, another mantle. All of these cards are so bad, though. Oh, they keep on exiling. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm definitely gonna wait for my opponent to do it because I want to see how they cyborg it. I want to know what I have to play around and stuff. Magic will lose the 5-0 to this nonsense. I mean, this is the kind of deck that's good against us, so it wouldn't surprise me too much, honestly. Granted, if we had found like a path to exile, we would have won this game easily. Like, all we needed to win this game was exactly one path. Like, and our opponent can never win. So yeah. So they have 3 Colossus Hammers. They have at least 3 Paradise Mantles. Man. Their deck sure is clunky. They have multiple Maim Knights and multiple Ornithopters. Alright, so they're not really a value deck. They're not really a Hammer Time deck as much as they are like a silly combo deck. How do they fight against disruption? I have no idea. Oh, they do have 4 mantles, you're right. Blowing it before they did all this would have stopped. No, it wouldn't have because they still have Equip 0, right? I needed these to be at 2 in order to win this game. So blowing up Sigarda Sade wouldn't have changed anything. I was playing around them having Hammer Time, right? Them having Colossus Hammer, sorry. Not them having like a combo kill with Paradise Mantle and Marrow. That seems so bad though. Like there's so many moving pieces, right? If you kill this, you can't win. If you kill this, you can't win. If you kill this, you can't win. You also have to draw this, this, and this. If you don't draw any of these three pieces, you just lose the game. Or if they answer any of the three pieces, you also just lose. Seems like a kind of sketch deck. They can also hammer you to death, so they don't need the combo. Yeah, but the hammer plan also dies to Fatal Push, right? Or Lightning Bolt. Or Path. Or... should I keep going? The Marrow needs to not be summoned in sick. Yeah, I know. Even more ifs. I mean, it's a cool brew. Like it's a cool idea. It's kind of sweet. Seems like a fine deck to be playing in the queues or to bring to FNM or something. It's not a deck that's gonna win a challenge, but don't get cheesed out by Ink Moth plus Hammer Time. Yeah, I don't think we would lose to that really. In before we lose to that in game 3, but like I'm saying that we have many answers to that plan. But I also get to see how they sideboard it. So they brought in Path to Exile. Maybe they had Path to Exile main deck, I don't know. Alright. Good job, OP. Got there. So they just have like a one-off Thassa's Oracle. 4 of these guys. 4 Mantles. 4 Steel Shaper Gifts. Actually, the other day I found like a couple of copies of this card in my bulk. I say the other day, but this was like a month ago or maybe 2. And this card is like 15 bucks in paper, which is hilarious. So tedious to combo out. Why don't they just run consultation instead? Yeah, that sounds like a fair assessment. So I guess that should I play this? And should I play this? Like actually Thalia does not sound half as bad now. Now that I've seen what they're doing. This sounds terrible. This sounds pretty bad too. Maybe Eidolon is... No, I'm not gonna Dumping Sphere, but I might Eidolon. Before transformational sideboard, yeah, I know. But I mean, it seems like we can... It's gonna be really tough for us to lose to their fair plan. Like, our fair plan is so much better than theirs. But they do have a combo kill, however. So I am gonna be bringing in cards against their combo kill. Which makes us a little bit worse against the fair plan, but I think, again, that we are good enough against their fair plan to be fine with that exchange. I think. Keep. So turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Activation, turn 3 Eidolon. Probably activating for Celestia Sanctuary. C4, thank you for the follow. Okay, so you're gonna have a little mana boost next turn. That's a Valakut. That doesn't do much just yet. It's gonna do something later though. Build your own Llanowar elves. Oh, that's funny. Why pay 1 for your elf when you can just pay 0 twice and then pay 1 mana to equip, right? That's a problem. So we're not getting comboed out this game. So I think instead of playing Eidolon, I'm just gonna play... Knight instead. Shit. Well, we can't beat... I could have gotten Ghost Quarter there, so we don't die to... Colossus Hammer plus Ink Moth, but I think that we have to start developing our game plan here. We just cannot continue playing this game because we're just going to die to normal random beatdowns. So we do die to Colossus Hammer. But if we untap, then we don't. So that's good. I guess now Steel Shaper's Gift also kills me. Oh, it loses flying. Oh. Well, but I mean, they have Shadow Spear, so I guess I would be forced to chomp with the Knight if they have Colossus Hammer. All right, there it is. Okay, so now we're actually dead. Fuck, man. This is rough. Damn, son. Just died on turn 3. Whoo! All right. No, I guess I should have gotten Ghost Quarter. We would have died anyway, right? Yeah, but if I had played the Eidolon, then we would have been dead to it next turn as well, right? If we just play the Eidolon, and then yeah, I guess that they just play one of these, but they can still attack and force me to chomp, and they still do the same thing next turn. It was like the turn 2 Paradise Puresteel Paladin that I couldn't really beat. Gross. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right, no 5-0 for us, which is, it's pretty sad. But at least we lost against a sweet ass deck, so that's great. Just gonna fire up another league. Yeah, let's just do that. We're gonna take a very short break, and then we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna play some commercials, and then we'll be back for some more Titan Vial action. See you in a few. Bye bye.